Hey guys, here. Today I want to talk about EA rigging the auction house. So let's go through the evidence first, then I'm going to give my mind on this twisted practice they practice. Alright, so I got tweeted a video by Baby Yoda 3AK at only use the laces out Marino. But let's see this. Alright, so what he's going to do is list his Nate Burleson up for 11,600. Oh, we can't have that going. 11,600 as a buy it now price. And it's going to go instantly. It's going to pop up here in a second. There it is. Instantly bought. And you're like, okay, well, that's kind of normal, right? That is totally normal because people snipe prices that are under the market value at all times. That's just like actual behavior, whether on the auction house, whether the mobile, you see it gets sold for that amount. So what he does and goes and checks the auction house, all right? So in the auction house, when you filter by Nate Burleson and you filter by his card, there is going to be more than 100 of them. And you're going to see this in a second when he brings it up. So when there's more than 100 of them, if you guys don't know that, only the cards that are expiring most recent, all right, only the cards that are expiring the soonest will show if there's more than 100 in your filter. So at Nate B, 75 to 79. So here he is looking down, looking at the newest. So here it is. As you guys can see, 13 minutes. It's really blurry. I apologize for the quality, but it is zoomed in. It's a Twitter video. I wonder if I can kind of like get it closer. I can't really give it more precision than this. So basically, 13 minutes is all that's left on the clock. So you're like, wait. Let's add this together. So he just listed something that people literally will not be able to see for another 47-ish minutes, around that, right? So how did it get bought if nobody could see this? Because there's so many of these things clogging the auction house after yesterday's solos were giving away these things for free. That's where the big conundrum is. And I don't know why these things are going away. So the only thing that I can think of, and always, I'm always looking for alternate explanations. So if you can find one, please give it to me. But the only thing I can think of is EA has these bots out on the auction house now. And these bots basically will buy up undervalued cards, kind of like us users used to be able to buy up undervalued cards and relist them for a profit. So EA is taking basically snipers out of the market. Let's go ahead and give this a test ourselves, okay? How quickly, and this is something I've tested on mine, he did this test twice, how quickly can these things get sniped? Let's look through like a random card. Let's go to that Mohamed Sanu that you see right there. Guy bought it and is letting me using it. So wait for that. All right, Derek Brooks. How much is Derek Brooks going for on the auction house right now? 2,000 coins. All right, so not a lot. 83s are, crashed. Maybe they'll go up if we ever get position heroes or something, but maybe not. All right, so let's put it up for 250 coins, and let's see how quickly it goes. All right, so is it in my binder? No, it's already gone. I literally posted it and it's gone. Do you see how quickly that went? Literally the second I posted it, it was already sold. So that's not that good of evidence. Like somebody could have sniped that, but that's a really quick snipe. That's not as convincing as this evidence right here. So it's not just his account. It shows on multiple accounts that these things go and evaporate quickly. So that means snipers are now dealing with an EA in-house bot that can see every card on the market. Whereas, like, if it was a player bot, it'd only be able to see these 100 cards just like everybody else. So EA, I think I'm very disappointed with this kind of development for the snipers. But I want to give a little history on this. Why did they do this? I think there's a few reasons. One, because if you recall, if you've been around this channel for a while, did a video on EA's price fixing the 95 Randy Moss. And if you were here during Madden 17, you remember this, there was basically what happened is if you did a couple objectives, it kept pumping out more and more collectibles, and those collectibles allowed you to get a Randy Moss. So basically, a ton of people got them for free. And what happened with the auction house, and this isn't great because I wasn't able to capture really great video of it, but EA started buying these things up and bought them all the way up to 800K. And of course, they ended up going back down a little while once EA stopped putting that pressure on. It's kind of like the Fed's buying up all these junk bonds basically right now to guarantee the price. So once they stopped buying off this thing, it went back down. Okay. Regardless, we saw during this mall stuff that they'd buy in like groups, right? That you could tell that they were buying by hand. And after that, I'm sure something went like, hey, you know what? Maybe we should have a bot. Now I don't know if it's that, but there's another story I ran across, and I'm not gonna show it, but I'll read it off here. All right, I got it through DMs, and I think this is the reason, the main reason, not necessarily that Moss. The Moss is a decent reason because they've had these fuck ups before. But the main reason is I think coin transfers is one of the reasons, and a main reason why, right? Besides for killing off snipers. I know NBA 2K got in some hot water a few years ago. I never actually ended up hearing what happened with them, but they started like banning snipers from their auction house. So if like EA chooses between banning people and putting in a bot, I guess the bot is the worst of the two evils, but that's still a terrible implementation. I much prefer the free markets. EA already sets pack odds. They already set rewards from solos, head-to-head wins, all that stuff. Now they're just controlling more of the economy, right? It's goddamn communism, if you ask me. Well, not really. But regardless of the point, we love inciting riots here in the den, so let's incite one right here. So, anyways, Jay Jordan on Twitch came up to me and asked me about this. Hey, I don't know how to show you a better background on this. You're just gonna have to listen to me. Currently, every morning at 7 a.m., I'm on the app to check out 98 Night Train Lane card. It averages for $550 to $650 during the day. He did send this to me a little bit ago, and it sells regularly. However, from approximately 7:15 to 7:45 a.m. Eastern, that card gets listed for a bid of $200 with a buy price of 200,000 coins for 1 hour, which is followed immediately by the sale. So when he sent this a few weeks ago, which is strange because I've seen these insta buys happen for a while, but people basically, what he's saying, are listing up for 200,000 coins for an hour and then immediately get sold. And then perhaps the same card, he says, gets listed for just over 1 million card, and then that gets bought a few seconds later too. So that's coin transfers basically, as EA generally wouldn't need to do that themselves, so they can just kind of grant themselves coins. So this is some sort of like buying and selling of coins or moving it from one account to the other. But the higher one, he said, usually sold right after, right? I just said that. This happens every single day, he said. Some days this happens 20 times, other days it only 4 to 5 times. But it is every weekday. I've been on that relisting, searching every 5 to 10 seconds for 10 to 15 minutes for the past several days. I've missed the windows a few times by getting on too late, but have also been in the window multiple times as well. The refresh button isn't fast enough. I just clicked on the name and hit search over again. I have won 2 auctions, and that's super important. So he was actually able to win 2 of these Night Train Lane auctions for 200,000 coins over the last 4 attempts he tried. So he's 2 for 4 basically on those attempts for it. So if EA does have that bot, there must be some sort of range that they don't hit where you can basically put up a Night Train Lane for cheaper, and then just above their range, clearly the range right here was 200,000 in 1 coin, and then EA's bot would immediately get it, and they just transferred for that way. So, and then they list for $1 million. You know, if you list something overpriced, then you get ghosted from the auction house. So $1 million might be under the ghosting range of Night Train Lane. So that's how like coin sellers are trying to get away from it, I think. But that's one of the reasons I think why or probably the main reason why they implemented a bot on the auction house to snipe these things under value, because people are transferring coin that way. So there you go. Now, my opinions about the bot itself, past why they did it. All right, as you heard, I fucking hate this, right? It doesn't allow us to go free market. It really hurts the no money spent guys, right? EA, I think they're trying to court more players to their games. Having the auction house be a way of grinding out a team through flips is, I think, a very valuable way of keeping players on your game, keeping the community larger. But if you eliminate the sniping community from your community, you are destroying a large swath of people playing, right? A lot of people like Madden, for Madden Ultimate Team, for its auction house simulation, for people going through these things and buying up and able to flip to a team, as it feels like an accomplishment. It's a game within the game to flip your way to a good team. Like, I know people in the past, Ashwin loved it, right? He was huge on the MUT subreddit. He flipped for constantly, got that. We have other people, other YouTubers that are big flippers too. There's other no money spent accounts that do this stuff. So eliminating that from your community, I think, is a huge mistake. Even though maybe you have the best intentions of trying to screw over coin sellers, even though I don't necessarily believe those are good intentions. Your boss tells you to do it, so you have to do it. It's still, I think you got to look at the community as a whole. Please do not eliminate snipers. I fucking hate this bot. I don't think it's ever going to go away. I just hope it doesn't get too crazy in the future where it snipes stuff like 1,000 under price. But we'll like I'm sure there's price ranges because EA implemented that in FIFA. So there's probably like invisible price ranges in the Madden community now. Whereas we don't understand. Hey, you can no longer list a 90 overall under what 10K without getting it instantly sniped by EA's imaginary price ranges. So basically, instead of being transparent with these price ranges, EA's saying, hey, we're gonna do it as a invisible price range, as basically the invisible hand of the market, teaching you kids what not to list for because we're going to instantly buy it. So I'm not a fan of the lack of transparency on their sniping bot. I think that's a major problem. If you're going to implement price ranges, tell us. We're going to hate it. There'll probably be an outrage. You probably learned from FIFA not to be transparent with us. But please, just let us know, right? If you snipe under 1% of the market price, it's going to get bought by a bot. All right. So I don't think sniping is dead. Don't tell me that. There's still going to be some decent snipes here. I still think filtering team by team is solid on a lot of these snipes. If they're selling for 17, 17.5, you can buy for 14 and sell at 17. There you go. So it's still like I said, sniping's not dead, but EA is completely rigging the market. And like those crazy snipes, you're not going to see them as much anymore. You might get them. If EA's bot messes up, but it doesn't feel like you're going to get absolute insane ones as frequently anymore with that bot here. Feels like to stay. So, there you go. What do you guys think? EA's got a bot going, the invisible price range bot. I'm not a fan, as you guys can see. But let me know in the comments. That's it for the video. EA continues their fuckery. That actually might be okay. 13.9. But what else is new, right? So, thanks. That's the video. Thanks for watching Call to Action. See you tomorrow.